Viewers beware, you're in for a scare.
Welcome to All Around Entertainment. I'm Jared.
I'm Joseph.
And I'm Jeremy.
We got a special guest with us today, guys. We are doing the Goosebumps review. I told you guys we were going to do it this week, and we are. Here we are. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Very good.
So let's start off with a little bit of the plot. So I think most of us here were fans of Goosebumps, which most people are these days. Myself, though, I'd never really read a whole lot of the books. I was more of like the TV show. I watched most of the episodes. Recently, I just watched them all on Netflix again.
Oh, nice.
As a fan of the books, though, I think both of you guys read the books, is the story true to how R.L. Stine wrote those books?
I think that a lot of the characters that did come into the movie, I thought were represented well as what they would have been if, R.L. Stine had written it himself.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Jeremy. There were certain things that, like, if this was real, you're like, that's exactly what he wrote, you know? Like, that's how they would act, this is what they would do, for sure, But comparing it from, like, what the whole movie plot was to the actual, like, just a book itself.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
But,
I think it was cool how, he wrote that story and he's writing himself in the story. I think that must be a weird thing to write.
I could have killed you!
That was a terrible throw.
What are you doing here? Go home!
Thought-provoking idea, what that would be like. And it was a really great part of the story, too. Anyways, so without going into too much detail about the movie, and no spoilers or anything, the movie starts out with our main character, Zach. He's moving to a new place, moving in with his mom, meets this new girl, unapproving dad. Your story kind of kicks off there when these two characters meet. The girl's name is Hannah. I'm not going to be able to pronounce her name. Odeya Rush.
Odeya Rush? That sounds right.
Odeya Rush.
Yeah.
Those two, they have really good, on-screen time. They're perfect together.
Yeah,
they're very charismatic.
Yeah.
And, both of them, throughout the whole story, I didn't really feel like it was like, all right, let's, get more into the monsters and stuff. I mean, with R.L. Stine stories, you're going to need those kid characters, to really support the story more than just, get the scary stuff in there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, those two were great together. Goes from there to showing Jack Black as R.L. Stine, which I think he's great as R.L. Stine. I don't know if he's really like that in real life, where he's all like brooding and.
Well, they actually had reviewed Jack Black about it, and he said he's nothing like that.
Okay.
And especially when there's a certain scene where he kind of like dogs Stephen King there for a little bit. He goes, they're actually not enemies; they're actually really good friends in real life. Awesome. So he said they're not. He goes, this interpretation of him is not real. And I was like, okay, but I liked it.
Yeah.
It was good. I thought it was funny. But in general,
yeah.
He said R.L. Stine is actually a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Jack Black wanted to make sure that everybody knew that the character he portrayed was a fictional representation of R.L. Stine, and not exactly like he would be.
Yeah. Which, I was guessing. I was like, I doubt that's really how he is. Even then, why would you write yourself like, I know that I'm this jerk. I'm going to write myself as a jerk. Jack Black did a great job. And then some stuff happens where Zach and then his best friend,
now coming to
his appointed best friend. Let's see if I can find his name.
Self-inflicted best friend.
Champ.
Yeah, Chump. Ryan Lee, which he was great. I think as far as like the best friend character goes, he was really funny.
I was looking at it the whole time I was watching the movie. I felt that Champ was one of the best characters. He really felt like a Stein character. Like he would be the main character in one of those novels.
Yep, for sure.
Definitely. He was definitely a great side character. You know, like every good movie has a good side character. Like, you know, the Minions for Despicable Me, or, you know.
Right.
That's kind of like how he was. But, like, you don't want to see more of him. You were just like, I like when he's here. Yeah. You know, it felt nice. It was cool to watch him, especially him co-act with Daniel. And it was like, oh, nice, you know. I thought they were good together as well.
Dylan?
Was it Dylan? Oh, I thought it was Daniel. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on.
Right.
But
Can't
so
see.
we'll go with Zach and Champ. They were good together. You know, they really thrown off each other, bounced off. It was really nice.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I agree.
Good. Yeah.
I think it was fun whenever she was on. But yeah, so you know, they become best friends. For some reason, without, you know, telling you too much about it, they go into R.L. Stine's house, and then they end up finding a bookshelf full of manuscripts of his books and everything. Book ends up getting opened out of curiosity, which is most of the time in the cases with the books and the stories. You know, the kids are a little too curious than they should be, which ends up releasing all of the monsters.
Yeah, and it really goes on from there, and I think it's just something that was really good.
Yeah.
And certain parts don't really make sense, but
Yeah.
it happened the way it happened.
Non-spoiler review, though, so I definitely suggest you guys go watch it, find out for yourself. You know, what he's talking about, I think, is a small part about it. I don't know if you would agree.
When it opened the book.
Well, no, just, yeah. Anyways, we're teasing you guys with what's... All right, so final thoughts about the movie. We'll start with Jeremy. What was your favorite thing about the movie, worst thing about the movie?
Favorite thing, it's hard to really pinpoint one thing that I really thought worked. I loved the soundtrack by Danny Elfman. It was really fit the score. It wasn't obtrusive. You didn't notice it unless you were really paying attention to it, but when you were paying attention, you could tell it was Danny Elfman. Yeah. All the characters worked really well together. I felt that just everything in the movie just had great synergy. The one thing I didn't like is it did seem like a lot of the things just kind of happened without a reason. It was a lot of, you know, just because things that just happened to happen just to progress the plot. Okay. But I felt a lot of that also was needed because it kind of added to the comedic value of the movie, which, as I said, as I wanted to say, if you're going to see this as a scary movie, skip. It's not scary. If you're wanting some clean, funny Halloween fun, this is going to do it. My 7-year-old daughter, she wasn't scared. She enjoyed the whole movie. I really enjoyed it. So I felt should probably be a good movie.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, I think don't skip it because it's a good movie either way. But yeah, I mean, if you're going in looking for something that you're gonna be like jumping at the whole time, it's not that kind of movie.
It's not even close. There might be like a scene.
Yeah.
But
what was your favorite thing, worst thing?
My favorite thing definitely were the characters. I love the way they looked, especially Slappy. Probably the best he looked so far. I really liked how it showed all the characters. The CGI was really great. I liked it. I thought they did a really good job. The part I did not like was there were characters, big characters, in these books that were not either not in the movie or they were there, but you only saw them for like a couple seconds. Yeah. And you're like, well, that's stupid. Yeah. Like, you know, but of course you can't show all of them, but I'm like, I think...
It's a lot of characters.
It is a lot of characters. I mean, you could have shown something. Like, you know, there was that one scene that showed a big group of them, but, you know...
Yeah, I guess you had a perfect opportunity to at least show.
Yeah, you have to stop the movie and see it. Yeah, but I wish there was a couple characters they could have progressed more into. You know,
I agree. Yeah, I think I agree with both points. I love the soundtrack. I mean, it's of late with movies. I think they're lacking in soundtracks. You just don't like remember after you watch the movie. Like, was there even like I can't really even think of like a definitive sound for that movie. But this one, of course, I mean, it has that Goosebumps sound to it. You know, it was really good. Love the characters, of course. I think my favorite thing, though, was just how he wrote the whole thing. I know you're saying this. Like, some things didn't, they were just there to progress the story. And it's like, I agree. But at the same time, I think as far as, like, how you would do a Goosebumps story, I think I couldn't think of another way to do, like, I don't want to say a final goodbye, because hopefully we'll get more movies. Mm-hmm. But, just doing a movie, that's really the only thing I could think of how you would do, like, this big movie story for Goosebumps. And I think it was written beautifully. So, great job on that, R.L. Stine. So, what are we going to rate it?
What would you rate it?
I'm going to give it 4.5 full moons out of 5.
Okay.
I'm going to go all out. I'm going to go 5 out of 5 dummies for sure. I liked it. I thought, when I first came in, I thought it was going to suck, but it topped it for sure.
Really?
I really enjoyed it. Yep.
You said it was going to suck? Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give it 4.5 magic typewriters. Definitely a great movie. I think it's definitely in my top 5 movies of the year. So we suggest you guys go watch it. It's in theaters now. Most likely in the nearest theater to you. Anyways, guys, that's our review of Goosebumps.
So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys.
We will see you around.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
All around champion, guys. I'm Jared.
I'm Joseph. I almost forgot to do it myself. Anyways, yeah, so Crimson Peak.